Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to take a look at the best Steam deals under $10 right now. Now, these are going to be stuff that's available directly through Steam. I know some of you guys aren't a big fan of third parties. Obviously, I'm going to cover that stuff always. Your Games Planets, Green Man Gamings of the world, and Fanaticals, they always offer great deals. But some of you guys, for whatever reason, want to pick your stuff up straight through Steam. Whether you have Steam credit, you want to take advantage of Steam refunds, I don't know, but that's your prerogative. So I got you guys covered, and let's get right into it. Got quite a bit of stuff to go over, so let's keep this pretty quick and keep it moving. Alright, starting things off, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, 75% off for $9.99. Also available with EA Play if you do want to subscribe to that. Really enjoyed my time with Jedi Fallen Order. There were some issues. I've been vocal about the map design, I think was atrocious, but the combat was good. Visuals were nice. Really, you want a nice PC, or, you know, nice enough to play this game at a high frame rate. I think you'll just enjoy it. I think that goes for any game, though, but, yeah, story was pretty good. I liked Cal as a main character as well. I think for $9.99, this is a pretty good buy. Not the lengthiest game in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but it's got a decent bit of content for sure, and I think at this price point, it's a good pickup. Alright, next up, Middleearth Shadow of War Definitive Edition, 85% off for $9. I thought just Shadow of War was on sale. This is a great deal because you pay $1.50 more on top of the base game, and you get a bunch of DLC as well. Shadow of War is a great game. I think the combat is super engaging, super satisfying. Visually, the game looks great, and it's got a decent-sized world, but it's not, like, overwhelmingly huge in my opinion, so good story, and I'm not like a big Lord of the Rings guy by any stretch of the imagination, so $9 for this I think is a pretty good deal if you're just looking for a solid action-adventure game. Shadow of Mordor is on sale for sure, pick that up if you haven't. That's also a worthwhile buy. Next up we have DMC Double May Cry, 75% off for $7.49, the complete pack is $9.99. Done by Ninja Theory, a studio that I love. They did Hellblade, Enslaved Odyssey to the West, they've done some really good stuff. DMC Double May Cry got a bit of backlash when it came out. Maybe it was because of the different design Dante, maybe it was just because of the different story, some of the elements, but if you just go into it thinking of it as a new action-adventure IP, I think you will end up enjoying it. I think the music and the soundtrack's pretty good. The story isn't anything to write home about, but you're going into this game for the gameplay, and I thought the gameplay was incredibly satisfying. So for $7.49, I think this is a good buy. Check it out. At this point, you know, you're going into it expecting something a little bit off the wall from your typical Devil May Cry games. If you do want to check out DMC 5, that's $14.99 by all means, go check that out as well. It's a great game. Alright, next up, we have Okami HD, 50% off for $9.99. Excellent game, one of the best games of all time, and one of the best games of the PS2 era on the PS2. And you gotta remember, the PS2 library was literally ridiculous, so Okami being among, like, the top 3 for a lot of people says quite a lot. This is a game that often sees, you know, comparisons to, like, a Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. The art style is fantastic. It's aged tremendously well, even being, like, 17 years removed from the initial release. It still looks fairly good. Gameplay is great. The soundtrack is awesome. Just a lot of great things about Okami. Unfortunately, it seemed like this game never really resonated from a commercial standpoint, and I don't know if we're ever going to get an Okami 2, but if you buy the game, you can fuel my dream and the chances of it happening one step at a time, but $9.99 for Okami HD I think is great. Next up, we have Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, 70% off for $9. Another Capcom title that, hey, a lot of people want a sequel to, and it looks like at some point we might be getting it. And part of that reason may be because of this PC release. Look, Dragon's Dogma came out back in, I want to say 2012, 2013 on the PS3 and 360, had a lot of technical issues on those platforms. However, coming to PC, those handcuffs are completely removed. You have an open world title that is an action RPG, but at the same time relatively challenging, but very rewarding as well. Visually, it looks fine. I mean, it's an older game, so keep your expectations in line there, but content-wise, it's definitely plentiful on that regard, and performance-wise, my experience with it was really good, and I was honestly expecting this to be a train wreck of a PC port, and it wasn't in my experience. So $9 for this, I think, is a great deal. Go check that one out. Next up, we have A Plague Tale Innocence, 75% off for $9.99. This is available on Xbox Game Pass, done by Asobo Studio. It's a very narrative-driven game. You're going into this game for the story and the atmosphere, and those elements are done so well. A lot of the times with narrative-driven games, you can't really get hooked into the story for a lengthy period of time. I thought A Plague Tale Innocence really did a good job getting the ball rolling and hooking you into the game within the first half hour or so. There were some ladder missions that I wasn't big on, but overall I thought A Plague Tale Innocence was a tremendous game that deserves even more recognition than it already has. And hey, it got enough recognition to warrant a sequel. We got Plague Tale Requiem coming out very soon. Now would be a great time to play A Plague Tale Innocence. It's a fantastic story-driven game. If you want something a little bit on the darker atmosphere, this is going to be something you'll enjoy. Alright, couple of other deals to round things out. Hollow Knight is 60% off for $6. Look, as far as Metroidvania goes, Hollow Knight is not the one that I got super invested into, but this price is ridiculous, and given the reception for Hollow Knight, this is an awesome deal. The game's got a great art style, and it's a game that you can sink a ton of time into. You've also got some additional content, so you can check that out as well, but you can get the Hollow Knight and Soundtracks bundle for $9.57. Gods and Nightmares is $2, and the official soundtrack is $4. Just to give you guys an idea of how well this game is received, overwhelmingly positive reception across 195,000 reviews, 97% positive across all those. Just ridiculous, but nonetheless, definitely a good buy at that price point. Just a ridiculous price point more than anything. Next up, Slay the Spire, 60% off for $9.99. Would I like to see this a little bit cheaper? Sure. It is north of 3 years old at this point, but man, this is a game that surprised the hell out of me. I got it right before it came out of early access, and I was just blown away by, like, how interesting the game was. I did not expect a roguelike card game to really work, and now these games are pretty commonplace, and maybe even back then, it was just not a genre I was really following, but Slay the Spire was fantastic, and I like card games. I've been a fan of card games, especially growing up, but the way a card game is integrated into a roguelike definitely adds a layer of strategy that I wasn't expecting. I was getting whooped by this game at first, but then you start figuring it out how you need to keep a thinner deck. You can't just hoard everything. And yeah, great game. Another one with an overwhelmingly positive reception on Steam across 93,000 reviews, 97% positive as well. Just a great game and has been updated quite a bit. And another game you can sink a lot of time into. And then lastly, I do want to give a mention to Soma, which is 80% off for $5.99. Another game with an overwhelmingly positive reception. How about that? 27,000 reviews, 95% positive. Done by Frictional, the guys that are probably most known for their work on Amnesia. I think Soma is their strongest game. I think this game does a really good job of invoking that horror atmosphere. It's not a game that you play as this overpowered character. It's rather just leaning on a lot of horror elements. And I'm not a big horror guy. Horror games aren't something that always click with me, but I thought Soma was really, really well done, and atmospherically, the game was incredibly strong. Narratively, it was good as well. Not the lengthiest game in the world, but you're paying $6. Get in, have a good time with it over a weekend, and then get out, and yeah, move on with your day. But Soma for $6, I think, is a great deal, and I would highly recommend it. So, that is going to do it for me. Again, all of these deals are available directly on Steam. I will leave links to everything in the description box below, so you can check them out. I'll try to do this a little bit more regularly when it comes to deals on Steam. I know I usually cover like the Green Man Gamings of the world and the Games Planets of the world, just because they usually beat out Steam by a little bit, but Steam has the larger quantity of deals by far. They just have, all these games. So, yeah, that's going to do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comments as well, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.